Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Just killing the volume on the phone. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good day. And before we get started, let's just get this part out of the way in case. We've already passed our record, which was 6 seconds. But if there's an issue with the stream in any way, shape, or form, please be patient. I will get right back on. So we'll get that right out of the way right away. So please, be aware of that has happened, may happen again, who knows. But anyway, also I just want to remind people that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. And so please keep it decent in the chat with the comments and everything like that. So please be decent to each other. No racism, no nastiness. If you do that, you will be booted out of here by my awesome moderators who are on top of things. Okay? So anyway, so we have had snow all day here today at the homestead. Now, it's not really sticking to the ground yet. Notice how I say yet. It's supposed to go down to like 27 tonight. So, but it's like hanging in the trees. It's that wet snow, so it's like hanging in the trees. So, yeah, good times. Just one of those kind of days. But it was funny this morning when I woke up. And I'm going to tell you what, riding bike yesterday absolutely kicked the crap right out of me. I'm not going to lie. I am like way out of shape. Okay, probably first time in at least 15 years that I got on a bicycle. And I used to ride all the time as a kid. Everywhere I went, I obviously rode a bike. Anyway, so I got up today and it was snowing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to use that as an excuse not to get out here and go for another ride today. Because I figured a lot of you probably thought I would go one day of riding and then it would be boom, done. But I really need to do something to get myself in better shape. When you're walking around and you're getting out of breath, I mean, that's not good. So I'm too heavy, and so I'm doing something about it, and that's kind of it. And I mean, right now, of course, I pick, this weekend we're supposed to have like snow all weekend, so it'll be interesting. Hey, Prepper Chris One, T-Boss, can you give a shout out to RD's new YouTube? Oh yes, RD's got a new YouTube channel out there, guys. So there is a shout out. Prepper Chris One is asking for, and so there we are. Thank you very much for the donation too, by the way. Round is a shape. Well, Prepper Rabbit, I hear you, but I'm going in the wrong. I'm no longer going vertical. I'm going symmetrical. So we don't like that so much, and was trying to do something about it. So yeah, that's why I decided to get myself going here. So we're going to talk about the economy and how basically the virus was the straw that broke the camel's back with our economy. Our economy was going down a toilet, has been for a very, very long time, and we're going to get into why that happened. So we got it. Okay. 2 takes and 4 eggs. Okay. Let's hope it's just one. Let's just hope it's one take today. Let's hope that that's out there. So let's do this part right out of the way. We'll do it early so it's out of the way. How many eggs did we get today? All right. So let's do that right away. And then that way we can get into topic, talk about our topic, and then we can kind of go from there. But now, cold day today, rained all day. Hey, Andrew Poole, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So let's see. I will give you guys a minute to get your guesses up here. I will say this, I've already seen right answers already. All right, so if you had the same count as, hold on a second, I want to, the next one comes up with the right count. Michelle Schubert at 10 eggs. Lucy Diaz-Cohen also said 10 eggs. Then you are right on the money. We ended up with 10 eggs today. No broken eggs today, so that was a good thing. So, but yeah, we had 10 eggs today. So I'll tell you what, on a day like today where the chickens, I mean, I opened up the door for them. They went out for a little while, but they basically stayed in the coop today. That's not bad. So 10 eggs on a day like today, I will take it. I will not complain at all. So, but anyway, so that's what we got today. We got 10 eggs. So I decided Needed to boil up a dozen for boiled, so I like egg salad sandwiches. Just like to eat them that way, boiled eggs. And so I just did that a little while ago. Just took them off, and now they're sitting in the sink, and let them cool down a little bit. And I'll probably have one after the stream, and then I'll put the rest in the fridge. So, but okay, so let's get into the topic, guys. All right, so we have the economy was going down a toilet anyway. So it's funny when you had a list, when you had a list of things that you thought may be the thing that would bring on SHTF, pandemic was in my top 5. I will say that, but probably not number 1 of the top 5. I saw my number 1 actually was a grid down situation. That was my number 1 thing that I have always been concerned about. Now, that doesn't mean because of the pandemic that we can have other factors affecting. So obviously because of the pandemic, the economy has gone right straight down a toilet. Okay. So a great example. So remember I've talked about this, and I said a lot of these small businesses are closed and will not open again. Well, there is a small restaurant that I really don't frequent it. It's way out of the way little place. And it had, local business was keeping it going. The local people went by there the other day, and it has a for sale sign on there. So they're not going to be reopening. And they were doing okay. I mean, they weren't, setting the world on fire, but they were doing okay and they were surviving. But because of everything that has happened, they were not able to keep it going. And so they've had to close their doors, and they will not be reopening. So when you have this type of situation happening where a lot of these small businesses, these small mom and pop businesses, maybe they employ 3 people, okay? It may not sound like a whole lot, but if you have that times 100, times 1,000, now you're starting to get some serious numbers of people that are not going to be able to go back to work with this whole thing happening. So, hey, Amy W., thank you for all that you do. You're very welcome, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. Thank you. But when you see those type of things happening, it's definitely going to affect everything overall. And so, that's what people need to pay attention to. They really do, because it's like, I know that the president has said that, once the economy opens up, everybody will be back to work. I don't see that as, I personally don't think that's going to be the case. I really don't, because it's going to take, like I said, some of these people have not been able to survive already. Now we're locked down in New York, I think, till the end of May. Obviously New York has been hit harder than any other state out there. We have the most deaths here in New York. We have the most cases. I mean, we have 330,000 cases out of 1.3 million. So you're looking at about 20% of all the cases in the U.S. We have them here in New York. So, and here's the problem that I have too with everything opening back up. The numbers are continuing to creep up in other places. Now, certain places the numbers are going down. Our numbers in New York are going down, but they're still there. They haven't gone away. Okay. As they start opening things back up, I think, how many viruses are in the pipeline, do you think? Good question, Prepper Chris 1. When these things mutate and they branch off and become new stuff and become stronger, that's tough. I mean, now I'm sure you guys have already heard talking about all these kids that are now being affected by this new form of the virus. All right. Or something else that just came out that they said that people that are infected, that the virus is in the semen as well. Not trying to be graphic, but they don't know if that can be transmitted that way as well. They haven't got that far yet. But I would imagine if you're having that kind of close contact with somebody, you're probably going to have, a transference of things that way as well. But, that's what's going on with that as well. But again, as you see things continuing to open up, I think you're going to see a spike in the numbers. I've said that before. I'm going to stick by that. And I think that's what's going to happen, unfortunately. I know that, again, in New York, we're locked down until the end of May. And it's really not locked down if you think about it realistically. They're not telling people they can't travel or can't do anything. People are still traveling. They're still doing what they want to do. They're still going to the stores and, the hardware stores and the grocery stores and all those type of things. So those things are still happening. So people are still getting out there. But again, you just don't know. You just don't. But anyway, so I want to get into a little bit about the econ. Okay, so the economy is being affected by that. So the economy is one of the things also on my top 5. Obviously, for me, the top 5. I had a grid down situation. I had the economy collapsing because we have overextended for so long, and we were definitely in danger of that as well. So, those were probably. I don't even remember where I listed pandemic. I'd have to go back and look at that video. It was a while ago, but people had asked me what were my top 5 things I was concerned about. And I know a pandemic was right up there just because of the world population and everything. And that has shown to be true, obviously. But when you look at the economy and you look what has happened in the erosion of our economy, basically since 1980, if you want, okay? When they did all these trade agreements, when you had Bush and Clinton and all those type of things, putting all those trade agreements in, what those trade agreements did is it helped big business. It helped big business reach record profits, record money, they put a lot of our manufacturing overseas. I mean, all kinds of stuff was shipped off to China because they could make it there cheaper and stuff like that, okay? Hey, Prepper Chris 1. By the time this is over, the economy will be in a blender. Oh, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's going to be very, very difficult to come out of this when this, when the economy, I know that they're talking about another stimulus going on right now, and wanting to give people like $2,000 a month and then another $1,000 a month or something for a year. After the economy opens back up again. I'm going to tell you what, people are going to need that kind of money, to be honest with you. Why are we not hearing about the homeless deaths? You know what, James Osborne? That is a very, very good question. Hold on a second. Is it Rizajizza? This is no longer about the virus. I can go to Walmart with hundreds of other people, but can't go camping. Yeah, you know what? And I'm going to tell you what, and I have an issue with that too. You can go to Walmart with all kinds of other people, but the small mom and pop shops that are the lifeblood of this country can't be open. They have to be closed. And if they try to open, like that lady in Texas got arrested, it became national news, and now they've released her, of course. Hey, Donna Smith. Hey, Ed. Penn staffer and Trump valet tested positive. Watch for a cluster. If a cluster, it will affect the economy. You know what? And I can't agree more. And I was going to bring that up in the chat as well tonight. And thank you very much for the donation and bringing that up. When you're seeing this closed circle of people that are associated with the president are probably more vetted than anybody else out there, and they're popping up with the virus, what does that tell you? I mean, realistically. And again, let's go back even to testing. Testing is not there. Testing is absolutely not there. We still have not tested enough people. There's probably a tremendous amount of people walking around right now infected, do not know they're infected. That's happening. So, I've had a couple people hammer on me because I've gone out and I've been to stores and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you what, I've gone out and I've had to go to the grocery store like everybody else. I went to Lowe's a few times and got supplies and stuff like that, like a whole bunch of other people did. I limited my contact with people in those stores, very, very limited. And when you go out to those stores, everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's got gloves on and stuff like that. So they're protecting themselves, hopefully. Okay. But a lot of the stores, like Tractor Supply, you can't even go into that store unless you have a mask on. That's company policy, or they won't wait on you. So a lot of them are doing that now. Okay. So, it's good to be safe. It's good to be protected. As little contact as you can have with people is probably the best thing. People in my neighborhood, I'm going to see them anyway. My next door neighbor is right next door. So, I give her eggs once a week. That's what I do. Hey, Kathleen Cook, 66. Thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you. But you're going to interact with people. There's no way any of us. I know some people said, well, I haven't, had contact with anybody in however length of time. If you're seriously compromised, I get it. I get staying home and not having contact with anyone. But again, I mean, people are starting to really get stir crazy. People are losing their minds. I mean, so you still, like I said, you still have to go out. I mean, people got their stimulus check either, like now I got my check in the mail, so I had to go to the bank. Now I went to the ATM and I deposited in there, so I didn't have any human to human contact, but that's how I did it. But a lot of people, if they have that stimulus check and they want to go pull that money out, they still got to go to the bank. So, hey, Baroness, we're being conditioned to the new norm. Yeah, I think that's part of it. If you get people used to things, then it becomes, well, it's not a big deal. You're right. I agree with you on that part. I still believe, and this is my belief, okay, that, I am, that I think this is a lot worse than they're letting on. I really do. I think that this is a lot worse than they're letting on. Again, why would they do that, right? You would say, why would they do that? Why would they be opening things back up if they thought things were so bad? Well, they're concerned about the economy. I mean, and there's all the conspiracy theorists out there that this was done on purpose to destroy the economy, to discredit Trump, and this was being done on purpose. Now, could that be the case? It could be part of it. They're going to obviously take advantage of that. Prepper Chris 1, boss, Mr. Rose has, hold on a second. I want to see what he said here. Mr. Ross has it. Prayers, my brother. I did not know that. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. That is not good. Yeah, it's just, I'm going to tell you what. There's a lot of people getting it. I think a lot more people are going to get it. And again, I will be the first to say, guys, I hope I'm wrong. I will always be the first to say that. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right in this. But I'm going to stand by my convictions. I'm going to stand by what I say. People can think whatever they want to think. That is your right to think whatever you want to think. I still plan on, even when they lift restrictions, I'm pretty going to be doing a low profile. I mean, I want to go out. I'm going to get supplies to do things here. Obviously my brother-in-law will be here. Greg will be here, and stuff like that, and people that are involved, with what I'm doing. But other than that, it's not like I'm going to have some great big huge party, So, and I'm not going to any parties. So, that's you have to do what you feel is right. 5-year-old baby passed from COVID. Yeah, I saw that, Lucy Diaz-Cohn. I did see that. And that's the latest thing that's going on. That's the latest thing that's going on. These kids are being affected, and it's an autoimmune type of thing, and it's getting them. And so a lot of them are in New York. So we obviously have the highest infection rate here in New York. But now this is like a new thing. So could that be a mutation that is happening? It could be. It absolutely could be. So, it's scary stuff. Nothing. I'm tell you what. Scary stuff, guys. And what can you do? Again, the best thing that you can do is, and I get people got to go back to work. They got to make money. They got to support their families. $1,200 ain't going to cut it. I get it. I do. But I think, we're in for some hard times moving forward, and it's not going to be any kind of fun. And I think you're going to see more people rebel if they lock things down and get things more restrictive. Because, again, this is the United States. People are going to be like, I ain't doing it. And that's the way Americans are. I mean, that's the reality of it. So, not fun at all. So, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it is what it is. And I hate to use that term, but it's the truth. There's nothing we can do to change it. It is here. It is going on. Again, people can think whatever they want to think. I'm not going to, get into arguments with people about what it is or what it isn't. I'm giving you my opinion. So, I just think that we need to be smart about everything. Not Mr. Ross, Mr. Rose, one of our moderators tested positive. Mr. Rose, you're talking. Hold on a second. Let me just go back and read what you guys are saying here. Hold on. Mr. Rose has it. Mr. Rose, weren't you just down with Prepper Rabbit? Didn't you just do a video with Prepper Rabbit? Yeah, I doubt the second stimulus will pass too much debt, Mr. Rose said. Well, Mr. Rose, they will just keep printing money. They'll just keep, and it will help destroy the economy even more. So, well, no, he does not have, or no, you, okay, now, no, you don't have the virus. No, you did not do a video with Prepper Rabbit. You got to tell me which one it is. But anyway, when our government sold us out and shipped all this manufacturing and stuff overseas for the favor of the big businesses so that they could give record amounts of money. Oh, that was Mr. Rogers. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. Rose, I got COVID from a prison job. Okay. Well, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that, you're doing pretty well with that. I hope that's not too bad. I'm sorry to hear that you got it. So now anybody that, says you don't know somebody that's got it, one of my moderators has it. And from a prison job. Wow. You know what? And I'm not being condescending when I say this. Not a surprise at all with the prisons, with everything, with people jammed in together like that. I know it is spreading like crazy in there as well. We've been just printing money since 1971. Katie Moyer just said, well, yeah, when we went off the gold standard and went on the fiat dollar, that was the beginning of the end. That absolutely was the beginning of the end. Okay. When, like all I have to do is print more money, and money is, basically, unless it's backed by something, it's worthless. That's why I've always said, I believe you need to have silver as a backup. Gold is too hard to get rid of. Now, if you can afford to buy gold, then knock yourself out. But I think having silver is important to have. Junk silver is more, you can get the gold bars, silver bars, the 1 ounce bars of silver. But if you get junk silver, dimes, quarters, 50-cent pieces, silver dollars, all those type of things, those are good things to have. They're always going to be very tradable, and they're going to hold their value. So that's just my opinion on that. If you love gold, knock yourself out and go buy gold. But I'll tell you what, if I had what's gold at $1,700 an ounce, so now you got one piece of gold for $1,700, or you can have a whole ton, a whole lot of silver. I'll take the silver any day. It'll be much more tradable. That's my opinion. You can think whatever you want. That's just me. So gold bars, long-term, silver now, Prepper Chris 1. Yeah. Well, it's like I said, my biggest thing and what I tell people, and I'll say this again, you can't eat silver and gold. Can't eat it. So commodities are going to be much more important in the short term than any kind of silver or gold, because, it's going to be a supply and demand. And if you don't have food and I got food, I set the price to whatever I want it to be. So think about that. I'm just using that as an example. So, those are the people that are going to have something. They're going to have tangible goods. And then whenever there is a recovery, now they got all the silver and gold. Hey, Dan G. I think Mr. Pompano calls the U.S. opposing narratives about COVID consistent, so future media will pick and choose what's true in the future. It's amazing, too. There's a lot of information out there. Who is the one that determines what is real and what is not real, as far as news goes, of this one, this is fake news, that's fake news, this is real, that's real. You just don't know. Hey, Donna Smith, watch Mark Fugel tonight. He said pawn shops in Washington are doing a booming business, not in loans, but people buying TVs and expensive items. Might be just extra unemployment. Worst hasn't hit yet. You know what? And